It is possible to turn your delusions into reality. Oh wow. What a power. Make you see things that aren't even there. No. It's a delusion. An illusion wasn't real. It didn't exist. If that flower bed was an illusion, I say would be dead right now. And if all you could do was manifest flowers, why didn't you manifest a crash pad? You suck at this. You wish something ridiculous, like I wish the ground was soft. Wow. I mean, they're really trying to make sense out of this. I respect it. She was starting to go off the rails again. No, but what Senna was saying wasn't just some girl's crazy ramblings, and you know how they are. You know what them girls are like. The VR technology patent was real, at least. Maybe Senna knew something after all. You can't tell me what to do. Oh. Takumi Nishijo has never acted within his own self-interest. Girl, I don't even know you. Why'd I tell you anything? Her words sounded almost like a threat, and then she turned away. Senna whispered that, and then this time, she left the park. Good, get out of here. And nobody goes to the doctor anymore. There was silence on the floor of AH Tokyo General Hospital where the psychiatric wards were located. The surgery and emergency wards were, supposedly, dealing with a rash of unexplainable comas that had started to occur after the earthquake. But the psych ward had nothing to do with any of that. If anything, they'd finished up their outpatient exams a little earlier than scheduled, so they all just went home. We've done everything we were going to do today. Bye-bye. We're all going home. A few days from now, they might have a flood of people experiencing PTSD from the quake, but for today, at least, there was nothing left for the outpatient staff to do. All right, fuck it. Just go home. Hope there's no emergencies. Shino Hazuki, one of the nurses, had been working here since last night's night shift, and belatedly realized she'd barely taken a break the whole time. She was hungry too, and I'm hungry. The ward had lost one of its doctors the other day. He'd been murdered horribly in one of the new gen incidents, and his replacement hadn't come yet, so there weren't enough people. But all that was left for the day were a few minor tasks. She could hand them over to the night staff, and she'd finally be able to go home. She slapped them cheeks with her hands, telling herself she just had to hang in there a little longer, and began to quickly walk across the lobby. That's what I do when I'm about to leave work, just smack my face and be like, alright, we're about to get out of here. Suddenly she felt a gaze from behind, a prickling at the back of her neck. She shivered. Whose eyes are those? She spun around. Stop! Land on your right foot, don't forget it! Out of sheer reflex. But there was nothing there but a quiet, empty hallway. Miss Nurse. Kya! Hazuki was startled. The voice had come from completely the opposite of the direction she'd expected. From completely the opposite of the direction. So verbose and weirdly translated. I don't know. Like, I'm certain the Japanese is just as odd sounding and verbose as a point, but man, does it come across weird. She thought the lobby was empty, but there was one person left. He'd called out to her when he'd seen her. Oh, fucking this guy. It was a man with a handsome, if still young. You look handsome even though you're kind of young. Like, what? A bizarre thing to say. His pallor was healthy, and he certainly didn't look sick. No, I ain't got none of those. Bye-bye. The man gave an embarrassed smile and then suddenly grabbed her by the arm and pulled her from the lobby towards the stairs. Damn, dude. The man, Mamoru Suwa, took out a small black book from his pocket and showed it to her. It's his passport. He flipped it open and showed her his police ID. He stopped next to the stairs and looked around carefully to make sure nobody was nearby. Please leave. She still had work to do and was feeling a little uneasy. Yeah, being accosted by a police detective didn't make her feel secure. What a shock. Suwa seemed to realize this, so without wasting any more time, he took out a photo from his pocket and showed it to her. Hey, you want to see a dead body? Do you recognize this boy? It was a photo of a listless-looking Takumi Nishijo. Because of the nature of her work, Hazuki prided herself on being good with faces, and she nodded without even really thinking about whether it was okay to answer or not. It wasn't. Doctor-patient confidentiality, she should have known better. Fire her. Her hesitation was natural. Giving anyone, even the police, information about a patient was strictly against the rules. But of course, Suwa had known that when he talked to her. His casual attitude suddenly vanished and a serious look appeared on his face. He dropped his voice as he spoke. I need you to give me everything you know about this guy. Fuck laws. No? Fuck you, man. Hazuki wasn't sure what to do. She turned to leave, but Suwa got in front of her and blocked her? Yeah, kick him in his fucking cock. Right in the fucking perineum. Just wind up and just launch one. Finally, he got on his knees and began to beg. Yeah, yabete, you fucking weirdo. He's not capable of doing that. What could she do to make him give up? Armbar. Moodalock. Hazuki couldn't come up with anything, so she just stood there helplessly. Just frown, just go, Pathetic. After Senna left, I spent a while just standing there in shock, then quickly dashed back home. Fortunately, I didn't run into Shogun or Yua. In the end, I'd come back here without ever finding Rimi. Almost makes you wonder why I left in the first place. After the earthquake and what had happened with ISA, I was sure they'd sent the students home early for the day. It was even possible Rimi might show up here soon. Until then, I just have to sit here quaking in fear, I guess. What a life. I decided I would take my mind off the fear by using my now functional computer to gather information. Oh boy, information gathering, my favorite. Then I saw my phone where I'd left it next to my monitor. The light on it was flashing. I opened it and saw I'd received a message. I thought it might be from Rimi, but... Nana Iko. Oh, it's Nanami. Something amazing happened at school today. Somebody tried to jump off the roof. Whoa, I was so shocked and scared. Sob. I wonder if they're okay. Were you at school when it happened? That earthquake was crazy, huh? My head really hurt. I wonder why. Bye. I guess to Nanami, nothing of that happened. Nothing that happened today was that big of a deal. Lucky her. Of course, I didn't answer, 'cause I am a bitch. I decided to look up anything I could find on ISA. I still couldn't get to Phantasm's official homepage. The media didn't have anything to say about her either. It's almost like she never even existed. To be fair, the earthquake was probably far bigger news than an attempted suicide by the vocalist of an indie band. Right now, I had no way of knowing if she was okay. I mean, she landed on flowers from 4 stories up. She's probably fine. There was a lot more information about the earthquake published now than there had been when I looked last. The number of dead had climbed to 118, and there were over 300 injured, too. I couldn't believe there was a 3-digit number of fatalities. Oh, 3-digit. Yeah, I almost said something very stupid. The epicenter of the quake was Shibuya, and the damage was limited to Shibuya to an extent that it was surprising. The quake itself was intensity 5. There was also an article saying that almost every piece of magnetic media in Shibuya had been destroyed. All the fucking magnets, how do they work? They don't. The thought of the tragedy that had befallen me happening to other people made the frustration and anger I'd felt come roaring back. It was a true tragedy. The magnets are dead. My H-game save data, my porn collection, they would never come back. Not the porn. Still, it didn't seem like an ordinary earthquake. An ordinary earthquake wouldn't have killed 118 people. What? A weird thing to say? The internet had noticed how odd that was too, and there was a lot of discussion. You think, whose eyes are those? Caused this earthquake? What? Way to go! Whose eyes are those? Makes sense. That explains how 118 people died in a wimpy-ass Intensity 5 quake. Ha 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 ha. I thought back to what had happened during the earthquake. I'd been hit by an incredible shock. It was a sensation I'd never felt before, like my head was boiling over or exploding. Or both. That could easily kill someone, I thought, but not me, the invincible Takumi Nishijo. I looked at what was on TV too, not just the internet. My PC had a TV tuner built into it. That was why I didn't need a TV in my room. All right. Look at that, there's live video right there. Complete with scan lines. We've recorded this on VHS.
2005年に同じように震度5の地震が東京であったんですよ。その時はゼロで、なぜ今回は100名
Tsunami warning for coastal regions.
被害者の数は震度に比例するわけじゃないんです。そこには様々な要因がありました。
Yeah.
亡くなった方の死因や病院に運ばれた負傷者の
What an interesting freeze frame that got. What do any of you know about earthquakes?
また渋谷区を中心に磁気メディアが全壊してしまっていることについて今日は専門家に
The mystery of the Great Shibuya earthquake. It's great, but it was also really wimpy. Am I gonna need to know their names? I get the feeling that it's not important I know their names. Who hurt all of the magnets? I hung up my kid's fridge art and it fell to the ground. Care to explain? Magnetite. It's classified as igneous rock. Deep below the surface. If you shake the magnets too much, they stop working. Fatal. Is deadly to magnets. Oh no, I'm already yawning. Oh Jesus, that's not a good sign. And Dr. Ozawa doesn't like any of this guy's explanations. He said, fuck that, this is all bullshit. Yeah, magnetite doesn't work. It's gotta be magneton or magnezone, and I don't care if I made those jokes in previous episodes. It's still funny, damn it. Ask at that face the guy in the middle is making.
ただの地震では片付けられ、渋谷にいた人のほとんどが頭痛がしたって訴えてることからも間違いなく
Everybody's got a headache. It's the magnets, I tell you.
地場ごときで100人も殺せると主張するおつもりですか？
それではここで CM です。
Did the guy say that? Are you telling me magnets did this? We'll be right back. Yeah, alright, cool. Bye.
詳しいことは何もわからずか。
The media was ignoring the huge white cloud that had appeared in Shibuya and the reports of the sky turning white. They'd been reporting them at first. But now, it was like they were being treated as if they'd never happened. I felt really creeped out. The after-hours entrance to AH Tokyo General Hospital had a place at the side for ambulances to park when they arrived with emergency patients. There were 2 ambulances there now, and the EMTs were unloading patients to carry them into the hospital. Meanwhile, you still got that junior cop like, please, I'll lick your toes for as long as you promise to break doctor-patient confidentiality. A doctor in a light green surgical gown and a middle-aged head nurse were giving them orders. There were several patients sitting around the entrance waiting to be seen, and it was clear the doctors were having trouble keeping up. There were 2 types of patients coming in today, and no more than 2. The first were the injured, who had blood dripping from their arms or forehead, and their faces were twisted in pain. They were painful to look at, but they were being ignored. You look at them and you go, ugh, and then you walk away. Priority was being given to the patients who were being brought in unconscious, but without any external wounds. Visibly injured people, fuck you. We gotta get this guy sleeping. We gotta get to him first. Awful lot of people coming in after the earthquake fit that description. Nap time. These symptoms had never been seen after an earthquake before. As of now, the doctors had no idea what caused them to lose consciousness. Another ambulance arrived, its loud sirens blazing. The technician got out of the ambulance and yelled at the doctor, who asked him for the patient's description. You can't just say that. That was the only explanation. Most doctors would have complained. With all that was going on, the normal answer to being told how to prioritize your own patients would be, go screw yourself. Yeah, but a little more colorful maybe. Surprisingly, the doctor and head nurse both nodded and helped unload the stretcher from the ambulance. I was about to say, it's because it's a main character of our story. Lying on the stretcher was Ayase Kishimoto. She was unconscious and moaning softly. The doctor and the techs quickly took the stretcher inside, ignoring the glares of the injured around them. Yeah, I'd be like, hey, I'm hurt. Oh. Standing a bit from them by the main entrance of the hospital was a girl, and she was watching them intently. Rimisaki Hata narrowed her eyebrows and bit her lip. Alright, good talk. The earthquake was concerning, but Shogun was a much bigger deal to me right now. My headache was gone, but the fear was growing stronger and stronger inside me, and being alone was making me feel more and more depressed. There was still no word from Rimi. I tried calling, but she didn't pick up. Until now, Rimi would always appear right when I needed her and tell me everything would be all right. Where is my support blanket? Why didn't she come for me today? She said she'd always be there. You said you'd always be there for me. But you're not. And it's my fault. I gritted my teeth and devoted myself to setting up my computer. First, I had to reinstall my email software. This is good information I'm glad he's giving us. I'd only set it up once, when I first got this machine, and then never touched it again, so I don't remember any of my settings. Yeah, I know how that is. I know how that goes. Old people call me all the time, be like, hey man, I don't know how to set up nothing. And I'll be like, all right, let me see what I can do for you. Oh, the fun of working in support. I had to start by trying to figure out where the software and the manual even were. Oh, he's going for the manual. He's not even going to fucking taboo or delugal it. It wasn't that big of a job, but before too much time passed, I realized I was covered in sweat. There they go, sweating again. Several times I'd gotten so annoyed I almost gave up. But still, after an hour of work, 30 minutes of which was spent searching for the manual, I had my email back. I looked to see if I had any new messages. Right. Let's see, what has he got? Hot lowly college girls are waiting for you. My husband cheated on me. Whose eyes are those? Now recruiting, only 20 spots available. I had fun yesterday. Your next quarter's tuition. Mind-blowing sex! I'm a pervert. Be my sex friend. Wow. I had 8 new messages. All of them were spam. But among them was one. I bet you it's the sex friend. That seemed a little unusual. Wait a minute. Your next quarter's tuition? Your tuition email? Nah, that's spam. Fuck that. Get that out of here. Had a slightly unusual name for its sender. What is that? It's Nanami? Oh, whose eyes are those? Yeah, it's Nanami. I knew it. I know that. I recognize the hiragana. Look at me. That's Nanami. Wow. I let out a sharp moan. What the hell was this? Some prank of Nanami's? It was an awful prank, if so. I felt like punching her in the face. Well, Jesus Christ. Psycho. Oh, wait. Nanami couldn't have emailed me. She'd never contacted me through my computer's email address. When she wanted to talk to me, she used text, like she had just a moment ago. I had never given her my PC email address. I'm gonna punch her, though. Was this just a coincidence? Sheer chance? Nanami was a pretty common name. And whose eyes are those was so common now, you heard it everywhere you went. I could easily see it being used as a title in a spam email. I decided to see what was inside as spam. Just click, click, click. Let me see. Delete. Oh, the sender's name is fake. Huh, Shogun. A little late on the jump scare sting there. Shogun? No way. Based on what? What do you base that on? What if Shogun could read my mind? Why not come out when I can see you, Charles? If he could, maybe it would be easy for him to find my email address. I'm always thinking about what my email address is, so that's easy. I enjoyed our conversation a moment ago. By the way, the sender name was fake. My name is Shogun. I'm glad ISA survived. I was planning on using her as a victim in the next New Gen case, but I decided a suicide would serve my purposes just as well. I'm impressed with you, though, Takumi. You've got a new high score. Very impressed. You really are special. Now then, it's Takumi Nishijo's turn. I'm hoping to make this one especially dramatic since she's your sister. Shibuya is in a nasty mood right now because of the quake. It's up to you to bring this to a moving climax that will make everyone feel so much better. It's getting hard to finish all these quests unarmed, isn't it? You're a hero. Don't you want a hero sword? Don't worry. I'll help you out. Its overly friendly tone made me shiver. He was crazy. What was all this? It's time to begin the quest to save Nanami. Come to the roof of O Front at 9 p.m. tonight. You'll be on TV, so try to dress heroically. P.S. Did you get my present? Quests? High scores? It was like he thought it was a video game. He's not a hero. This is very true. No, he's an absolute zero. It was finally my turn to be killed. Yes. Let's fucking go. I wanted to run to get out of here. Rimi, I had to get Rimi to protect me. I bet you Rimi fucking sent it. Suspish. Why couldn't I get a hold of her? Suspish. Had she been hurt in the earthquake? Suspish. But Misumi hadn't said a thing when I'd met him earlier. Maybe it was him. Maybe he did it too. Maybe they're all in on it. I took up my phone to see if there were any missed calls or messages from her. Oh, where was Rimi? Where was my protector? Then I gasped. The inbox on my phone. It had the message I'd just gotten from Nanami. What? Was Nanami okay? I mean, I don't like her, but is she okay? The real Takumi Nishijo would not give a shit. I reread the email that Shogun sent. Now it's Nanami Nishijo's turn. It's time to begin the quest to save Nanami. What? What did that mean? I needed to call her right away. I opened my phone's contacts list. There were only 3 numbers on it. Home, Rimi's phone, and Nanami's phone. Whenever we met, Nanami was always irritatingly insistent that I call her. It wouldn't hurt to finally call her once in a while. Oh, right. I just hope she picked up, because if she didn't, I was never calling her again. Even if she'd gotten hurt in the earthquake and couldn't pick up or something, I didn't care. Fuck her, she sucks. I hate her. I pulled up her number and pressed dial. I put the phone to my ear. Like you do when you're on the phone. No answer. Phone wasn't even ringing. I knew that there was always a little pause when you called someone on a cell phone. But now the silence seemed to run for an eternity. In every passing instant, I got more and more irritated. Good, she picked up. Huh? What was this sound? It's ringing. That would be the ringing. I pulled the phone away from my ear. That's not Turianse. There was a melody I didn't recognize coming from somewhere in the room. Was that a cell phone ringtone? Whose phone was those? From the timing, it had to be. I shook my head. I didn't know what ringtone Nanami used on her phone, which meant there was no proof the melody I was hearing was from Nanami's phone. None. I just got scared and put the phone up to my ear. Nanami hadn't picked up yet. Come on, pick up. Pick up already. I just have to call home. Yeah, that was the fastest way. I ignored the ringtone in my room and hung up. It stopped. The mysterious ringtone had disappeared. My room was suddenly quiet. There was a tiny little bit of lag. But the ringing had stopped. Almost at the same moment I'd hung up. I got even more confused. I didn't know what to do. Call it again? All I could do was look around my room. I say look around, but I wasn't looking at much of any. Did you need to... I was just moving my head. My mind was a complete blank. I called Nanami again. I told myself that maybe this time I wouldn't hear the ringtone. This time she might pick up. My hopes were dashed without mercy. The cheerful melody had started up again within 2 seconds of me calling her. There was no doubt about it now, and I couldn't avert my eyes from reality anymore. Like, everything we know about this guy, like, he would fucking care that his little... He's probably deep in his head like, hell yeah, good. It's in this room. He's probably more upset that he looks suspicious about it. Nanami's phone was somewhere in my room. Why? Had Nanami found it, or... P.S. Did you get my present? No. That had to be a lie. There was no way this could be real. I lowered my phone slowly. I couldn't even blink. My throat was parched. But still, I looked for the source of the sound. This time I looked around slowly. Slowly, my eyes landing. Looked around slowly, my eyes landing on each and every object scattered about the room, slowly. I hated myself, slowly, violently, for not cleaning before. If the place wasn't such a mess, I'd be able to tell where it was coming from slowly. Where was the sound coming from? This box. The sound was coming from inside the box. It was the size of 2 H-game boxes side by side. I thought it was from something I'd bought online, but there was nothing printed on it. There was no address label either, but it was sealed tightly with tape. Had this big box always been here? Did it fall off the bed in the earthquake?
Yeah.
And my sister you've been kidnapped 6 days ago, and I'm just finding out about it now. I'd never seen this box before. I always opened anything I ordered online right away, too. Oh, it might be more fucking porn. And if it was something I'd sold at an online auction, I'd have shipped it off right after I wrapped it up. As if this guy's selling any of his shit. I thought that maybe Nanami had brought me some food or something, but I didn't remember her bringing me a box this big, which meant that in the hour or so when I'd been at school, someone had been there. Someone got into my shipping container. I hope you like it. Did you like it? My heart started pounding faster. I quickly checked the lock on the door. Ha. A cold chill ran down my back. I didn't remember locking the door when I'd staggered out of the base earlier today. I'd never even thought about it. I'd barely even been conscious, thanks to that terrible, stabbing headache. The door had been completely unlocked for the hour I'd been gone. Anybody who wanted to could have come in. Had Shogun been here? Had he come into my home? I looked at the box again. The melody was still playing. Nanami's phone was inside. I gingerly picked up the cardboard box. Yay, he made my favorite noise. It was heavy. It was far too heavy to hold just a phone. I felt like it weighed about the same as a 500 milliliter bottle of juice. Weirdly specific. I hesitated to open it. Something felt very, very wrong. Yeah, come on, man. We gotta move this shit along. Open the fucking box. What's in the fucking box? But I couldn't think of a way to avoid it. And I was worried about Nanami, too. I mean, she was a little brat, but she was still my sister. And I guess that's enough. Nanami's phone was inside this box. Yeah, I know. Which meant that someone had stolen it from her. It's time to begin the quest to save Nanami. That's what Shogun's email had said. Yeah, I know. I looked at the clock. It was 7:30 p.m. I had just an hour and a half until the designated time. Maybe Nanami was in danger. You think? I had to open it. Ha. The sensation of my heart pounding wouldn't go away. The sweat was pouring off my forehead. I wiped the sweat away with the back of my hand and let out a moan. Ugh. As I started to strip off the tape. Yada. I whispered in prayer as I opened the lid. Was that a foot? Inside the box was a lump of aluminum foil. They'd even put packing peanuts around it. That was good. It was to protect it from the magnets. How do they work? Holding back my terror, I looked inside the box, but there was no sign of the phone. The melody was coming from within the foil. Sweat, of course, got in my eyes and stung. I realized my whole body was covered in sweat. please just make this all stop happening? Why was I the only one this ever happened to? I felt like crying and complaining to somebody. Yeah, you are. You're crying and you're complaining to me. I'm getting sick of it. I looked to Seira-tan for words of encouragement, but she was sadly just an action figure. My head was so full of terrible delusions that I couldn't even imagine her speaking to me. I was so tense that my mind was on the verge of shorting out, but the cheerful melody of the phone kept driving me on. It is quite catchy. Ha, ha, ha. I'm gonna open it. Ha, ha. I steeled my nerves and grabbed the edge of the foil with my fingers. Closed my eyes, held my breath. She said I got tickets to Iron Maiden, baby. Come with me Friday, don't say maybe. The melody was louder and clearer than ever like you. Woo. He was afraid to open his eyes. Ugh. Ha. 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 Gah. I tried to catch my breath. Wasn't working. It's fine. It's fine. There's nothing to be worried about. This was just some prank of Nanami's, right? It was like, oh, hey, I'm going to put my phone in a box. And what a prank. Pranked you. You were pranked. Any second now, she was going to walk in and yell, gotcha, Oni no Baka. Yeah, that's what would happen. It was the only explanation. If she came in, I was going to scream at her and then never speak to her again. That's right. Tell me I'm right, Nanami. Ooh. I couldn't keep my eyes closed anymore. Staring into the darkness was just too much for me. The fact that I couldn't see it was just making the awful delusions worse. Ha. Ha. So I slowly opened my eyes and saw... What I saw was... a hand. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Diamond is Unbreakable. I knew it. This is the work of Yoshikage Kira. You know, he's trying to live a simple, plain life, but you know, he just won't stop murdering people. A small, cleanly severed hand. I don't know, it's looking a little jagged. I don't know if I'd call that clean. That's not clean. It was holding the same model phone I had. And on the wrist... something kawaii. Oh, I mean, you're flashing it too quick. I don't think this is appropriate music, but this is what was chosen. A bangle. Its yellow band was stained red with blood. Get over it. Ooh, ah. Oh, not this fucking... Ugh. Explain it to me like I was 5 years old. Hundreds of millions. And the mitochondria is the powerhouse of those cells. Extend between... Yeah, you look at that. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Hell yeah, dopamine. Yeah, good. Yeah, that's I'm sure that's how dopamine works. Brains are all about dopamine. Got it. Noah 2. We get in the middle. We stop dopamine. We're tricking the brain with dopamine.
ですが明確に違う点としてその人間の目視覚というのは
The human eye is very interesting. Yeah, it is. I don't like it though. I don't like eye stuff. No eye stuff, please. This is 60 degrees toward the side facing the nose and 100 degrees toward the side facing the ear. 100, yeah, include peripheral. As I explained before. Oh. He's explaining how, like, oh my gosh, you know, if eyes, you know, the cone, they should be seeing overlap, but your brain deciphers all of it. And isn't that so cool? And yeah, it is pretty neat. Uh-huh. Oh, Sanbyaku Committee, oh fuck. Contains many mysteries. Yes, very mysterious. Uh-huh. Strengthening protections of research into the secrets of the human body. I don't know where. Probably got rid of that recently. It's an act of selection. America. What are we doing here? I have no idea why we're here. Because we're padding out the runtime? I don't know. That's my assumption. I mean, shit. We just seem to be kind of just fucking going. A lot of yapping. More powerful. With soap. What is the goal? What are we doing here? This is really fucking boring. Can we pick it up? Oh, people with problem gravity are pulse vulnerable and their brains are like her, and then it fakes it. This is your eyes and your brain just fucking with you. Using this machine, we could... Yuck. We could hack your eyeballs so that you could see ads. That's gonna be the future. That's the real future. That the sci-fi authors of yesteryear never thought possible. Consume product, and then we will hack your eyeballs so that you can be advertised next products. Under the right conditions, you can make the target see whatever you wanted, like ads. Excuse me, the gigalomaniacs? That's a wonderful term. A mechanical gigalomaniac? Oh, I love that word. I don't even want to know its actual definition. I just want people to be called that, as long as it's nothing bad. You just gigalomaniac. Ha 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 ha. Does it just leak? Is it leaking? Are the magnets leaking? Good on them for not choosing a different different CG for any point of this conversation. I'm glad I'm staring at this exact screen as they artlessly and soullessly describe leaky magnets. Oh, yes! Thank God. Who are these filthy men? Oh no, that's kind of rude. The guy looks like he's got, like... He's got Seda on his shirt. Porters? These guys deliver food. You might call them our mind control squad.
彼らが背負っているリュックの中にはノア2のパルス波を送受信する
Oh, this green backpack man.
ポートは信号を受け取るとリモートで周囲へと放出するわけです。
Wow.
歩く端末というわけか。それならば有効範囲の制限な
Well,
ど
they're limited to where they can walk to.
限定的使用も問題ないことに。
状況は理解した。
You do? You understand? Because I sure as shit
計
don't.
画を
ただし300人委員会に悟られる。
あとは何人犠牲を
There's a secret society and we're trying to trick them.
ご理解いただき
We're an even more secret society.
それではポーターとして使える人材を
手配しよう。
My God.
それと引き続き先生方にはメディアのコントロールを
This
お願いいた
is
します。
brutal.
すべては我ら3人の目指す
You know, for the sake of her ideals, whatever those are. Yeah, very good. Oh, God.
タッキ
Tacky.
ーねえタッキー聞こえてるっしょ
Nope. Can't hear you.
聞こえてるよ、セーラタン。
あのさもうこのゲーム終わりにしようよ
Yeah, I agree.
ゲーム
Let's quit this game.
ナナミッチはタッキーの大
Save the game. Call it.
わかるけどきっともう手遅れだよ
Yeah, your sister's dead, fucker. Who cares?
そんなことないよ。
No, it's true. They chopped off her hand. She died.
普通出血多量で死んじゃうっしょゲームだったら違うかもだけど
なんで
もうさゲームオーバーなんだよきっと
Yes. I wish it were game over.
もっとたくさん人が死んじゃう
More people will die. That's fine. I don't like any of these people.
でもセーラタンだって悪いやつと戦ってるじゃないか。
だって
I'm fictional.
アニメだもん
Yep, I'm an anime character. Yeah, cool. Bye. I stuffed Seiratan into my pocket.
助けなきゃ。
Who? Nanami or Seira? I'd brought Seiratan to keep me safe. It's just like one of my Japanese animes. Normally, I'd never walk around with a figure in my pocket. It might get damaged after all. Letting his wife be destroyed is the worst thing an otaku can do. Well, it's a good thing you got like 40 of them, right? Doesn't matter if you lose one. But now, I didn't have it in me to follow my own policy. I needed something to keep me sane. Of course, I might be dead by this time tomorrow. Please. I looked down at Seiratan once more. Her head was poking out of my pocket. It helped me keep the tears from pouring out. Unlike the sweat, which is still fucking leaking out of every orifice. Then somebody slammed into me from behind and I staggered forward and broke Seiratan. I looked back and saw it's been a hot minute, a DQN type man looking at me, annoyed, but he disappeared into the crowd without saying another word. I looked around. I was in Shibuya's Scramble Crossing. It was hard to believe that it was 9 p.m. on a weekday, particularly only a few hours after an earthquake where over 100 people had died. There was an ocean of people around me. Just waiting for the light made me feel like I was going to suffocate. There were people everywhere, on all sides of me. I didn't know why, but the media was out here, too. There were people with big TV cameras stepping out into the road, blocking traffic. The big lights they used for filming were everywhere, and they were blindingly bright. Several people who looked like newscasters were rapidly speaking into cameras. There were a few officers in uniform trying to keep the pedestrians and media out of the road, but the whole situation was out of control. The road was almost completely shut down from all the people on it. Was there an event or something going on? Yeah, an earthquake. On a day like this? At this time of night? At this time of year, localized entirely within my kitchen? How could they hold something like that on a day where over 100 people... Did they not have common decency to call it off? And why were the media here? If its people were like this, Japan was doomed. They should be more like me, Takumi Nishijo. Not that it mattered to me. Shogun had sent me to Ofront, a building right in the middle of Scramble Crossing. It was the one with the Tatsuya and the Starbucks. Tatsuya and Starbucks. So Starbucks is Starbucks, but what's Tatsuya? Is that Toyota? I hadn't actually planned on going on my own, but I couldn't get a hold of Rimi at all. And the police might still think I was the new gen killer, so I couldn't go to them either. I was running out of time as I tried to figure out what to do. In the end, I got so worried about Nanami that I came here alone, with Seiratan close at hand for protection. He's just going to throw it at any oncoming attacker. Go, Seira! I worked my way through the crowds and inside Ofront. It was pretty crowded inside, too. But I was too distracted to even care. I had barely noticed that the guy in front of me was quite caked up. All I could think about was Nanami's safety. I headed up the escalator to the floor above. There were big windows in the Starbucks that let you see out onto the square below. When I looked out of them, I could see just how many people there were in Scramble Crossing. It felt like everyone in the crowd was waving their arms or jumping up and down. An ocean of dark-haired heads roiled and bobbed beneath me. Maybe it was a rave. Impromptu. It was way brighter than it had been when I was down there. I started to wonder if all the lights down below were facing toward the building I was in. I'm in spotlight. It's me. It's me. Every time I took the escalator... Escalators! Every time I took the escalator up another floor, my heart started pounding faster and faster. I took out my phone and checked the time. It was 9:01 p.m. If Shogun got mad that I was late and killed Nanami... He's late! Not very punctual. Halfway up, I switched to using the elevator and took it to the top floor. I didn't know how I was going to get up to the roof from there, but I wandered around for a bit trying to make sure nobody saw me, and eventually found an emergency staircase. I managed to get to the roof without anyone saying anything to me. It was a lot easier than I thought it would be. Sick. The wind was blowing hard on the roof. It felt strangely warm, considering it was the end of October. I realized quickly that it wasn't a natural wind, but the air blowing from the air conditioners on top of the building. I fastened the button on my pocket so Seiratan wouldn't blow away, because gravity is fake. You're welcome. Hearing Seiratan's voice in my brain made me feel a little better. As long as I had Seiratan with me, I wasn't scared. That's what I told myself. Over and over again. I replay it over and over again. That said, it was awfully dark up here. The only light was the neon Ofront sign, which I was now seeing from behind. And the neon lights on the other buildings were so bright that it was hard to see around me. If somebody was hiding up here, I'd never be able to find him. I mean, yeah, take a look at that image. Look how bright it is. God, it's so bright. I can't see a thing. Oh, you are late. A wizard is never late. He arrives precisely when he means to. Someone suddenly spoke. My heartbeat had been starting to slow, but now it flew back up to top speed. I looked around, but it was too dark. Oh, now it's too dark to see where the speaker was. I heard a sound. It was the creaking sound I'd heard so many times before. This time, I slowly trained my eyes on the darkness in front of me. I could barely make out the outline of a wheelchair's wheels against the light. Huh? Shogun. Oh, thanks for having me. The voice was friendly as it said my name. It made me sick. Sanctimonious son of a bitch. I didn't want to talk to Shogun. I was scared. I wanted to run away from here. Right now.
じゃあ逃げちゃおうよ。
Dork.
このままじゃタッキー殺されちゃう。
That's probably fine. But Nanami,
君はすごく勇気のある人だ。
he ain't a courageous man.
来てくれるとはありがとうと言っておく。
Arigato. Wait, something was wrong with this Shogun. Something was different. Right, his voice. His voice wasn't right. He was like using a voice changer or something.
その声
声なんてただの空気の振動でしかないよ。
That is the type of annoying thing that some fucking asshole would say.
どう聞こえるかその場の条件によって
We're using a program called Audacity.
そうだろ
What was going on? His voice was changing more and more. Was he using some kind of machine? Maybe he didn't want me to identify his voice. And at this point, why bother? And what he was saying didn't make any sense either.
タッキーを混乱させようとしてるんさ。
Yeah, clearly.
油断しちゃダメ。
He's trying to baffle you with bullshit.
信じちゃダメ。
Yeah, don't listen to him. Fuck that guy. That's right, Seidatan. She was right. Seidatan was always right. Always. I put my hand over the pocket I was keeping her in and squeezed tight.
ななみはどこ
I was so afraid. My heart felt like it was about to burst out of my mouth. I forced myself to speak anyway. I thought stuff like this only happened on TV and in video games.
ななみはもう死んだ
Oh,
だって手首ちょん切られちゃ
he cut off her hand.
う。もし生きてるにしてももうすぐ出血多量で死んじゃうのは
Run away, Takumi Nishijo. I started to cry. I started to sweat. I could see Nanami's puffed up, pouting face in my mind. She was a little brat. Honestly, she was obnoxious. I fuck her. I didn't even like her. Oh. But still, I was so sad. So sad, I was crying.
ななみは僕の妹なんだ
Me when I'm lying crazy.
なんで殺したんだ
死んだと思う。もしかしたら君の家に送ったあの手首は別
Aww.
バングルと携帯はナナミちゃんのものだとしても手首そのものは別人のものかもしれない。
I got a one-track mind. Nanami was alive?
信じちゃダメだってば。
君が見事クエストをクリアしたらナナミちゃんは返すよ。生きているナナミちゃんを。
Now that sure is nice. That sure is swell of you, evil mastermind. Did he think this was a video game? But the real me wasn't a hero.
でももしクリアできなかった場合、ナナミちゃんは
His voice suddenly grew as cold as a blade. I felt so stupid, being afraid of such an old man, but he was crazy. He was the new gen killer.
だから僕を失望させないようやり君な
Huh.
らできる。
If there's something that Takumi Nishijo knows well, it's disappointment.
なんで僕じゃなくても
That had to be you. You were determined to be the main character. Sorry, buddy. Unfortunately, we're stuck with you.
君でなくちゃダメなんだ。
だからなん
君は選ばれた人間だから。
By the writers.
勘違いしちゃダメだよタッキー。あいつの言う
Listen to me, the scantily clad action figure in your pocket. I remembered the horrible fates that had befallen the other new gen victims and shivered.
君は今日の昼間のことを
Earthquake, headache. Lady lands on flowers.
昼
学校で君は
Oh, yeah. I did that. That was me. I did it. Hey. Shogun's email had talked about her attempted suicide. He must have been watching from somewhere. Or maybe he'd mind-controlled her into trying to commit suicide in the first place. How could you have done this? I can't believe. I say only survived because she landed in that flower bed, correct? Shogun knew about the power I supposedly had. Nobody there had found anything strange in the slightest about that flower bed. The only one who had known what happened was Sena, and Sena had said this to me. I will punch you. That's right. It was possible that Shogun was only after me, only trying to kill me. Because of this power he thought I had. If I told him I didn't have it, maybe he'd let me go. Yeah, give it a shot. Ooh, what an own goal. Shit. She is not wrong. She was right. I didn't have any power. That was just a stupid kid's fantasy. After all the things that Sena and ISA had said, I'd started to believe it was real. But the two of them were clearly crazy. I was stupid to believe anything a crazy person said. Hadn't Rimi said it was all a delusion anyway? Had Rimi said that? What a terrible power that would be. Very interesting. Ugh, I might have dug my own grave again. A terrible negotiator. Wait, who was Shogun anyway? If he knew what the other students and teachers were saying, had he been there to hear it from them? Oh my god. I'll be very disappointed in you. Split in two. Can you prove that they were real? I can't prove anything. Not beyond a reasonable doubt. No. Then what about the flower bed? She gaslighting this dude crazy. Can you imagine being gaslit by a fucking figurine in your pocket? That's crazy. It's alright, you're just nuts. You're just a loser, it's fine. Yes, thank you, Shoulder Angel. I repeated what Seira-tan had said. You sure did. Yada yada yada. It was just a delusion my mind made up. Kill him. I disagree. You can Shinkali and change the world. I wanted to go home. I wanted to go back to the base and grind an ESO until I passed out from exhaustion. Man, I wish I still had the inclination to do shit like that. I wanted to leer at my Seira-tan figure and watch Bloodtune on an endless loop and just fucking beat the bishop, man. That's all I ever wanted. So why?
タッキー早く逃げて。私がずっと一緒にいてあげる。私だけがタッキーの味方なの。
That's probably true.
だから帰ろう。三次元とのつながりなんて断ち切って。
Yeah, fuck 3D. Just jerk off all day.
さて
I mean, you're gonna have to reload eventually, so...
して
I don't know, drink milk?
クエスト
Drink juice? I don't know what. What would reload you? Other than time.
まずは
And an energy drink. Just build that shit back up.
よく見えるところまで行ってほしい。
逃げなきゃ。このままじゃ本当に殺されちゃうよ。
Oh, if only. Did you not hear me? We can't give out no information.
スクランブル交差点を見下ろせるところへ移動する。
His voice was soft, but incredibly cold. It's gonna be Yua. And that's gonna be one of the girls. No, it's gonna be Rimi. Rimi is the one, that's why he's using the voice changer.
何を
My legs were shaking and I couldn't move. I wrapped my arms around myself and hugged tight. Should I do what he said or not? I didn't have it in me to decide. I'm not deciding nothing. Hopefully not deciding gets you the bad end and I can be done.
僕の言うことが聞けない。
Mm-mm.
従ってもらわないと。
That's fine.
命は保証でき
I don't care about none of these people.
どうせもう死んじゃってるよ。タッキーが今からが。
That's fine.
ナナミの声
I squeaked out the words, but Shogun ignored me.
その必要はないよ。君はもう少し
Yeah, you should think more.
考えた方がいい。
Ugh. I didn't want to think about the chance that Nanami was dead. I didn't want to imagine her dead. It felt like if I imagined it, it might really happen. I gave in and moved somewhere where I could look down on Scramble Crossing. The ground round my feet was dark. I felt like I might trip if I wasn't careful. There was a clear acrylic board on the side of the roof facing Scramble Crossing, acting as a wall. It was about 3 stories high. When I got close to the wall, I could hear the chaos below me. There was a female voice that seemed much louder than the others. It was the one coming from the big TV.
アクリル板の壁に一箇所だけ壊れて穴が開いて
I looked at the wall, wiping away the... Hell yeah, there's that heavy sweat on my forehead. He was right. The hole was big enough for a single person to pass through. It was a strange space, like it had been smashed open. This hole is meant for me! Someone had clearly done it deliberately. Of course, there was nothing on the other side. It was a sheer drop off an 8-story building. Over you go!
そこから顔を出して下にいるギャラ
Hello, crowd. What? What had he just said?
もう一度言おうかその穴から
Say hi to the crowd.
下にいる人たちに手を
He couldn't mean.
あいつタッキーを殺す。
That's fine. I gulped. Is that how he'd made 5 people jump to their deaths? Seidatan was right after all. I had no choice left but to die. I had to jump.
そんなの
拒否すればナナミちゃんは死ぬよ
従えばタッキーは死んじゃうよ。
What was I supposed to do? I tried to think of my best option, but with every thought I had, the worst case scenario came to me in the form of a delusion. Somebody save me.
鬼のバカ。
Yeah, remember how shitty she was? Fuck her, let her die. Nanami's voice echoed in my panicked ears.
バカ。
Yeah, Baka. I could see her smiling in my hand, calling me an idiot. It was my fault. Nanami had nothing to do with any of this, but Shogun had kidnapped her because of me, and even cut off her arm. I'm sorry, Nanami. My bad. I wiped the tears away. They came back, and I wiped them away again. And then, with blurry vision, I slowly walked to the hole and gingerly peered out over the edge. There was a sudden cheer below me. It was so loud it sounded like an earthquake. Too soon. That big crowd in front of the station and the media too. They were all here for some event that was about to start. What if they were here for me? Suddenly, a bright light assaulted me. I narrowed my eyes and looked away. I could see the big TV on the building, next building over, and the person on it was me. That's exciting. Now famous. Huh? Me? The big TV showed me with my face covered in tears and my mouth wide open like an idiot. Even my posture looked terrible. At first, I thought I was seeing things. And then next, I thought somebody was secretly recording me, and I shivered. I should have gone, "Hi, everyone. Bye-bye." I even thought that maybe it was an image that Shogun was stealing from my mind. And finally, I realized that it was a video of me being taken right at this very moment. There was text in large letters running across the bottom of the screen. Yeah, there is, because it's a visual novel. Live from Shibuya Station, it's Tuesday night. The Amazing Psychic Boy. More text was scrolling beneath it. An emergency live appearance of a psychic boy, personally vouched for by Yuri Brightman, the greatest psychic of the 21st century. Will he use his powers to find the new gen killer? Finally, I understood. The media and the lockers in Scramble Crossing were all looking at me. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. I don't talk to none of y'all. Why are they all looking at me? Psychic boy? What the heck? Didn't they know what had happened today? There was an earthquake. It was an intensity 5 quake. Over 100 people died. Quit looking at me. So why were they all getting excited over a weird loser like me? Right? Anyway. It was like a crowd chant at a soccer or volleyball. Soccer or volley? Do the chants get crazy at volleyball games? Are volleyball games like that? All the DQNs in Scramble Crossing started to chant. Did they all have a meeting in advance to arrange this? Or was Shogun mind control? Have you ever been in a crowd that started chanting? As one person starts it, and then it just kind of organically will increase. This guy's clearly never been to a wrestling show. Whenever the guy you don't like is talking, when he finishes his sentence, you say, "What?" It's just, and it's wrestling fan etiquette. They were all raising their hands, shouting the same phrase in perfect unison. They were insane. I don't agree with them. Clearly, they're deranged. I shivered. The chant continued. Between the chants, I could hear the DQN girls screaming at me. Hello. Hi. Oh, I love you, random citizen. Oh, that's just laughter. Ha 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 ha. This is funny. When I listened closer, they were all making fun of me. Why would they do that? I'm so great. They were all just laughing and enjoying my misery. All they cared about was their own fun. You've treated me like your toy for the last 25 years. Your time is finally up, and my time is finally now. This is a big festival, and I was the sacrifice. And all they cared about was joining in the big party. They were all DQN scum. Nobody was going to save me. They all wanted me to die here. Their mass psychosis was going to kill me. And they weren't doing it out of hatred or anger, but just for fun. Do a flip. Oh, come on. I was scared. I thought I would piss myself from fright. I'm almost faint with fright. That was crazy. I'd never felt death so close. I thought I was going to pass out. Well, that would certainly make the falling part easier. And just go, over you go, like a child having a tantrum. I was crying and sobbing. I thought that maybe if I cried enough, Shogun would let me go. Ain't no shot. Maybe the crowd below would have some sympathy and come to help. Ain't no shot of that neither. Maybe the police would realize I wasn't the killer, just a harmless dorky loser, and come to save me. Sure. Maybe my parents were watching at home, and they'd offer to take my place. No, they there with them little flags like, jump, 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 jump. Maybe Rimi would appear out of nowhere to save me. Now, if she had a fucking brain in her skull, she'd push you. Maybe I'd wake up and find out it was all just a dream. In that case, I would be furious. I shook my head desperately, screaming again and again that I didn't want to die. But... Shogun's tone hadn't changed. I awaken, I arise. No, they don't. They don't care about Takumi Nishijo. They hate him. As well they should. They'll start a riot. A riot. They might come to kill you. Oh, if only. After hearing that, I couldn't step back or even turn around. Just jump. Yeah, who gives a shit about your lips? You should throw foundation. Like, throw her off first. I would. But... Shogun's voice was completely calm, but had a force behind it that brooked no disagreement. Eh? That wasn't what he wanted? That I didn't have to die? Damn. Find your dick sword. Bah! Find my D-sword? How? I'd looked so hard for it and never even came close. How the hell was I supposed to find it here? Delude yourself into holding a sword. No, I don't understand. But they didn't. She moved very slowly across the screen. A delusion. Wow. Yeah, she was very helpful. Oh, she's going the other way. Doubt the world. This world is imperfect. What? Ugh. Somebody else should scroll across and just say, quite. Ah, missed opportunity. That's right. You've been given 2 hints. That's too many. So, he'd hidden the D-sword somewhere in front of me, and he wanted me to find it. You need to get the sword. Get your sword! That was impossible. How was I supposed to get the sword without being able to move from up here? What did Shogun even want me to do? Yeah, that's fine. That's alright. Run where, brother? Sister, sorry. If I take a single step back, he'll kill Nanami. Bok her. He said he wouldn't hurt her. And she got a point there. I looked carefully at the scene in front of me. The lights made it hard to see anything far away. Sword, 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 sword. I tried to look at my surroundings as much as I could, but there wasn't much I could see from here. Most everything was hidden by the buildings around me. I had to find it. The sword. I thought back to what Ayase and Senna had said. What did they mean? And then I thought back to the patterns on the ceiling of my room back at my parents' place. I'd always looked up at them when I was trying to go to sleep. Well, this is new information. And thought to myself that the knots in the wood kind of looked like a human face. Whose eyes are those? And once I started to see a face there, I couldn't see it as anything else but a face. Pattern recognition. Mm-hmm. That's right. This wasn't like a pattern in a piece of wood. Life's not just patterns in pieces of wood, Takumi Nishijo. You freak. Cut it out. Please stop talking. Get on with it. Yeah. Yeah, he's just making crap up. I agree. Let's get out of here. We're wasting our time. Like the second Ayase. But the last time I tried to create a real D-sword out of my delusions by using the fake one, it hadn't worked. I turned my head from left to right. I looked out at everything I could see from where I was standing. Turn to the left. Turn to the... Oh, I saw a sword. Is that what those are? Yes or no? I saw a sword. Oh, I get to choose? Let's see. Do we see a sword? Let's lie. Maybe that means he'll get killed. I saw a sword clearly. No. I only kind of saw a sword. I could see the sword someplace that wasn't here too. Yes. Uh-oh. I was pushed from behind hard. At some point someone had got behind me. I hadn't noticed him at all. It wasn't Shogun. Hadn't heard the creaking sound of the wheelchair. Then who was it? Whee! The sound. I think... Did I just lose the game? I hope so, because that'll mean the end. I could hear screams. No. Cheers coming from the people around me. What was this? Was this the end? Was my life over? No. No, 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 no. Yes. Yay! If you are God, and the delusion becomes reality, about what kind of the noids you get? Is it the sensual world? The despotic society? The destructive sanctions? Or... Alright. So I didn't save. So we're gonna load, or we're gonna quick load here. Alright, so we can do a quick load. We'll load this. I saw a sword. Let's just say yes. I saw a sword clearly. Yes. If I could move from here, I could go get it. Yes. Fuck. Splat. Let's see. Annoying. Let's see. This is annoying. I hate this kind of shit. And I know these games are famous for it. Like, I don't even know why I'm bothering, because I don't even fucking... God, I don't even like this game. Like, why am I... let's see. I'm looking up what the answers are. It looks like yes. Yes. Oops. Yes. No. No. It's not actually a sword. Alright, cool. Cheating always works. Remember that, kids. Cheat always. Push him over anyway. I saw it. I didn't see nothing. Oh. Yeah, I didn't see that. I don't know if that was there. I wasn't looking at that. As I looked out into the night, the light warping and twisting through the tears in my eyes, I found a spot that looked like a sword. Ayase was right. I hadn't noticed it at first, but when I changed the way I looked at things, suddenly it was there. Yeah, suddenly when you press the correct answers. I didn't care if it was just a coincidence or not. The more I started to see it as a sword, the more it contrasted with its surroundings. Finally, it became more and more real, standing out against the scenery around it. Even its outlines were gradually becoming clear. Shogun must have noticed my shock, because he spoke almost immediately. That's fine. I looked below. The crowd below me was huge. The ambulances weren't here yet. It was just like this afternoon. They were too slow. You're too slow. Of course they were. The earthquake this afternoon had been devastating. Wow. Thank you, murder person. You have the touch. Could I really do that? Could I really get the sword just by reaching out? Maybe it was worth a try. Ayase had said the D-sword would save me. Maybe this is what she was talking about. I could get the sword and finish the quest. Nanami would come back alive, and Shogun would leave me alone. I could go back to my normal, peaceful life with an imaginary sword. I'll never talk to you again. Obviously not. And I'll have a sword. Shogun wouldn't try to make me do the impossible. I could do this. That's why he was telling me to do it. Because he knew I could. He was telling them to grab their swords, and they said yes, 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 and he just went, you disappoint me. I hated to disobey Seita-tan, but still, I reached out to the sword, as if seeking salvation. The people below gasped. Thousands of people in the packed crossing below were watching my every move. If you included the people watching on TV, there might be millions or tens of millions. I'm famous. I felt like I was going to throw up or sweat. The pressure of having so many people watching me threatened to shatter my mind like glass. No, don't think about it. Think about it, and you won't be able to move. For now, focus on the sword. I reached out from where I stood, keeping a close eye on my footing. I focused on the sword and tried to grab it. I couldn't touch it. The wind was blowing hard. It was coming at me randomly, too. One moment it would blow from the front, and the next it would slam into my body from the side. I was grabbing onto the acrylic board, but it was so slippery that it wasn't doing much more than making me feel a little better. If I had the slightest lapse in concentration, I'd fall off. Still, I tried desperately to grab the sword, but no matter how many times I tried, it didn't work. The tears came back. My vision blurred again, and the faint sword-like thing I'd seen a moment ago began to dissolve. I quickly wiped away the tears. It felt like if I lost sight of it, I'd never find it again. Damn it, didn't he know how dangerous this was? I bit my lip and held back my tears and reached out farther than before. I still couldn't grab it. If I fell here... I looked down again. I was higher up than I thought. I felt like I was going to get dizzy and pulled back and clung to the acrylic board. Get your sword! Ugh, I shouldn't have looked down. I couldn't stop shaking. I was worried the shaking would make me slip. I was completely terrified. Yeah. We're playing games, alright. Get the sword, and if you can't do that, your little sister will die, and so will you. We're gonna do a little thing here. I'm gonna save. Because I get the feeling I'm gonna have to reload this. No, I don't want to die. Once again, I stretch out my arm from the hole. I could see the sword there still. I tried again and again, but it was no good. It was so close. Why couldn't I reach it? I leaned out further. I stretched out my whole body and reached my hand towards the sword. I even stretched my fingers as far as they would go, and slowly clenched my hand. Once again, nothing. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to be pressing a button, but I really, I almost don't really want to, because I want to see how far we can go without, doing this. Sedaton was right. That sword was half invisible. There was no way to even grab it. It only looked like it was a normal size because it was so far away. It had to be incredibly huge. No human could hold a sword that size. Oh my god. Not really. Remember what happened this afternoon. With your power, if you fall, you can just create another flower bed. See? There you go. Yeah, Sedaton whispered mischievously. Confident. Me? That's fine. Yeah, totally. That's okay. That's right. Even if I did have that power, I didn't know how to use it. You can't stay here. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Just get it over with. Yeah, fuck her. Who cares about her? Even if you somehow managed to save her here, she probably wouldn't even thank you. She don't like you. The truth of what Sedaton said stopped me in my tracks. She was right. Even if I saved Nanami here, I knew exactly what she'd say. Yeah, Baka. She wouldn't be grateful. She'd just be mean. I'd spent the rest of my life with my whole family hating me. At the end of the day, she was just a 3D sister. She wasn't moe. She wasn't pretty like it. She is still your sister, though. Fucking weird. She was always looking down on me. She was always secretly, no, openly, making fun of me. Whatever happened to that little brat wasn't my problem. Maybe I could risk my life for Sedaton, but not her. Be selfish. I don't want you to die. I mean, I do. I want to keep talking with you. Oh, God. Sedaton was what made me happiest. What happened to Nanami didn't matter. Oh, my God. Like, the first and most likely ending you're gonna get is the bad ending. I don't want to die. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to die. I don't want to disappear. Wow. Wow.
件じゃない。
そうだよ。帰ったらさ、私のパンツ見ながらいっぱいエッチなこと想像。
帰ってセーラたんや母。
嬉しいな。タッキーのためにエッチなポーズたくさんしてあげるね。
誰が動いていいと許可した？クエストはまだクリアしていないぞ。
僕は勇者なんかじゃない。妹一人救えないようなヘタレな妹だよ。僕に期待しないで。
I never did.
僕を見ないで。
Whose eyes are
そ
those?
っとしておいて。
ではナナミちゃんは殺すことにするよ。
どうせもう死んでる。
She was already dead. Shogun had killed her in some horrible way. It would probably be the top story on the news tomorrow, the 6th new gen case. It was sad, but I couldn't do anything about it. Whoa. You suck. I heard what sounded like dripping water, but it wasn't water. It was Nanami's blood. It was bright red blood dripping from her severed wrist.
助けて。鬼って
A loser?
最低。
Yeah, yep. I screamed. Mm-hmm. But my hands passed through thin air, and I collapsed onto the wheelchair. I must have hit my elbow because it was stinging from the pain. I winced and looked for the person in the wheelchair. There was a severed head rolling at my feet. Trembling, I picked it up off the ground. It was very hard, like a head. I realized quickly that it wasn't a severed head at all. It was some kind of helmet. This is a black helmet?
Das Spider.
What? It's still going. Okay. Well, I was expecting that actually to be an ending. Kind of surprised that it was not. Alright.